Wuthering Waves has gotten framed, boys. They've been framed by Genshin Impact players again, baby. Again. This is not the first time that Genshin Impact players have done this, but let's get into it. Congratulations, Kuro Games, for losing credibility. Congratulations for censoring your game for no reason. I wanted to support the game for shopping for some Canarella constellations. With this instead, I prefer to remove the game. Simply, censorship is trash, boys. That's it right there. New and old. Obviously, they've censored the game, but I'm going to get into the reasons why it happened, okay? So you stick around. If you like this kind of stuff, you subscribe and you give me a like, okay? The game was brigaded. The game was brigaded by the Chinese community, a Chinese game that is set out on purifying player bases. That's right. They want to purify me. It's made up of, it was brigaded by the Chinese player base trying to purify gamers, and it was made up of Western white liberal women. PlayStation fixed Wuwa's rating to 16 plus. Steam also removed the rating. Official website still says 12 plus. They changed it and they gave it the hentai tag, boys. This is what happens whenever a whole bunch of people brigade a game as nudity, even if it has no nudity. Steam and PlayStation Store will raise the rating. So obviously Wuthering Waves has gotten fucked around here. I know we all think that the game should be 16 plus, but it shouldn't happen because the Chinese player base and white liberal women mass report it because of something that is not. Okay, they called it hentai. It's got a hentai tag. They called it nudity. I mean, it literally blew the heck up. This is breaking the internet. I saw posts from CCs talking about this and jokingly, or this will the game. When Wuwa is already rated 16 to 17 plus on Chinese platforms. Also, don't you think every gacha should be 16 plus at least? There's nothing to compare or race about gacha games targeting younger audiences. Obviously, boys, we all think the game should be 16 plus, but they should definitely not be brigaded by Chinese gangs to make them raised up to 16 plus, okay? It should not have a hentai tag on it on Steam. It should not have a nudity tag on it on the PlayStation Store because it has no nudity and it is not hentai. I mean, this is one of the most effed up things I've seen today. Another recent implication change might not have realized. Wuwa requires you to confirm that you're over the age of 13. This is why the changes are being implemented because they're going for the 12 plus age rating specifically. The current 16 plus rating is probably temporary. Of course it's temporary. Why do you think they had to censor the character? Because they got brigaded and it raised the age limit to 16 plus. Obviously they should all be 16 plus, but whenever the others get to be 12 plus and Wuwa is stuck at 16, it is taking a major hit. I mean, seriously, this is the most ridiculous thing I've even seen. You really want to argue and say that, like, oh, they're going for the 12 plus, that's why they censored it. No crap, they would have never censored it in the first place if the Chinese gangs didn't literally brigade them to death. Wuthering Waves is now 16 plus in the Play Store. This is what it says in the Play Store. 16 plus nudity, boys, nudity. Remember not long ago Zenless Zone Zero bring censorship and reverse it in one day? Yeah, that's because they censored it on their own. They were not brigaded. They were not forced to because their age rating was not raised in the Steam store. This is the moment when devs actually listened. Strong Zenless Zone Zero community. Kuro Games never listened. Wuwa community, just Kuro slaves, keeps defending them even if they made the game worse. Brother, they censored it because they had to. They were not on the level playing field. They literally got completely mass reported by white liberal women in America and by Chinese shills, okay? By Chinese Genshin shills, and I can prove it. Explaining Wuwa censorship because Kuro Games deserves an apology. That's right, boys. We're about to get into it. This is huge. If you like this kind of stuff, you stick around and you subscribe. Basically, there is a cult named Jian Zhuan, which is currently most extreme group of MiHoYo in China. That's right, you heard that right. A cult, which is the most extreme group of MiHoYo in China. This group consists entirely of MiHoYo fans. MiHoYo is basically who created Genshin, HSR, and Zenless Zone Zero, aka Hoyoverse. That's right, boys. They are absolutely trying to purify gamers right now. I can prove it too. Later on, we'll talk about it. They're trying to purify the player base into what they want it to be. And obviously, that's not okay. So the censorship on PGR and Wuwa is because haters are mass reporting Kuro Games. 16 plus and hentai tag on Steam now, boys. That's right. A hentai tag on Steam. Ain't that the most ridiculous crap you've ever heard? Even guides about how to report Kuro. That's on a that's dirty on the next level, and yet they want to point Kuro Games as toxic for being defensive. That's right, boy. This Chinese game is literally promoting guides on how to report Kuro. They even mass hate commented the Wuwa live stream. The live stream yesterday or the day before, whenever it was, you know, the live stream that happened. Yeah, they mass hate commented on it. They brigaded the live stream. This is getting ridiculous. It seems a big group of MiHoYo fans in China are nitpicking other games. Here is the solid proof. I'll get to it in a minute. It's the author who is reporting these Chinese groups for mass reporting and brainwashing. They're mass reporting games and saying that they're brainwashing, boys. That's right. And it's not just Wuthering Waves. It is many games. I mean, look at this. Thanks to HoYoverse in China for their professional internet army frantically reporting this game as censored. That's it. To change this, please fill out the work order to let Kuro Games know we don't like this one censored. That's right, boys. They mass reported it. And then look at this. Tomorrow's ARC players tombstone into the game storyline, and then everyone gets to eat tomorrow's ARC players tombstone offering. I don't know about y'all, but I remember when they literally mass reported fan art from artists about Genshin. I remember whenever they harassed them to the limit that they took down their art. I remember whenever they harassed voice actors until they quit the freaking job. Genshin player base is absolutely toxic. Full-blown harassment, full-blown crazies. I mean, look at this. Western Genshin fans are again harassing Asian artists for drawing characters in what they think is the wrong skin color. For anti-racist fans, they really obsess over skin color so much. That's right, boys. They bullied an Asian artist for drawing characters in what they think is the wrong skin color. An Asian artist. Why can't an Asian artist draw in what the heck they want to draw in the skin color they want to draw in? This is what I mean whenever I said woke white women on the left in freaking America. Western white women, Western white liberals ruin gaming yet again, thinking that they are the major player base of gacha games, when in reality they sit at around 25%, and they think that the gacha games should cater to them and make more male characters, when the male player base is literally what makes up the majority of the game. Some of you Genshin players need to chill out. I don't know where you get satisfaction from being a psychopathic troll, but this is an effed up line to cross. Karma has a way of coming back to bite, so hope you are ready for that. I'm so sorry you have to deal with shit like this. That's right, boys. That's right. Genshin players at it again. This is obviously from March, but this is just another example of how the Genshin community is. The harassment and bullying over the past days has been really unwanted, to say the least. Some of y'all need a lot of help. Now with this, pure evil. Good to see your little sister died. I hope she is in hell getting, the hard art by Ted Bundy and the homies. How's your mother, Brianna? Or is she 6 feet under 2 getting feasted upon by maggots? That's right, boys. This is the kind of stuff that they send people. The Genshin player base doxes people. They send them death threats. They send them stuff like this. This is not okay, boys. We don't need this in the gacha space. We don't need this kind of harassment. We don't need this kind of level of immaturity. This is what the Chinese players bring. They bring pure evil, boys. No Genshin fans get hate because they spend a large chunk of their time spreading hate, harassing and doxing people. It's even for the dumbest and most trivial reasons like fan art, fanfics, or even official art. Get your facts straight. Your reaction further proves your own point. That's right, boys. These boys are getting crazy. Regarding my latest illustration, I decided to take it down from Pixiv after the harassment I've received towards it. I will also no longer attempt to draw straight Genshin ships in the future. That's right, boys. They drew a Genshin ship and they got completely harassed over it. Harassed to the point that they are taking it down. I'm sorry if this painting was offensive. I will consider taking it down here as well. This is the kind of stuff that we're dealing with from the Genshin community, by the way. If you are a Wuthering Waves player, that's the kind of stuff that we're dealing dealing with. You actually think that that is okay? I mean, I like Genshin too. Genshin was the first gacha game that I ever played, but even I know when there's a limit. There is a limit to the harassment that you can do in a game and it be okay, which is literally around 1% and only when it's warranted. And when the devs call out the player base, but this is unwarranted. This is unwarranted harassment, and it's getting things canceled. It's getting things censored. I mean, we remember when this happened with the woke left in America back in the day. I'm sure you do. And it's getting absolutely crazy. I mean, look at this one. Wuwa fans in a nutshell. Becomes quiet unless Genshin fans attack. Says theirs is not gooner bait. Always accusing Genshin fans whenever Kuro Games takes a serious case for things like this in China. You do realize others are also sensitive. It's not just Genshin, right? Yeah, bullshit, bud. I can prove that it is mainly MiHoYo fans that are doing this. They're the ones that have the Chinese gang of MiHoYo fans that are not just doing this to Wuthering Waves, but they're doing this to literally almost every single other gacha game that they play. Mass reports in China against Wuthering Waves for including P graphic content, likely after the release of Cantarella's PV. That's right, boys. We got Cantarella for all of a couple days before they censored it due to these Chinese absolute Genshin shills that have to ruin every single game that they touch because they want to purify the player base. Absolutely ridiculous. This game is under attack. Of course they're going to react. That's right, boys. In fact, in CN, some groups who hate the game have made large-scale reports citing the game's PG content. That's right, boys. Absolutely getting crazy with this kind of stuff. They're blowing up. I mean, I've got proof of it here. Let's get into it. Here is solid proof. You all want to read this. I found this on X and Facebook. Many are sharing this thing. It seems some kind of organization of MiHoYo fans who nitpick other games. This is it, boys. This is the group. This is the group of Chinese MiHoYo Genshin fan gang that literally meets up in person, by the way, and absolutely try to brigade games online to purify the player base. The Jian, whatever the freak it is, I can't even say it, the Immortal Army is the most extreme group of laughter mutated in MXZ at present. It is the only one in all the mobile game player circles, two-dimensional gamer circles, any gamer circle, any circle except for the Wandering Star fan circle on the market that may and has formed such a group. The current size is estimated at 20,000 or more, boys. The Immortal Army is a purebred MXZ, probably due to the fact that Honkai Impact 3 has been purifying players for longer and more than Genshin Impact. You hear that right, boys? So they've been purifying players in Genshin Impact, but they've been purifying players longer in Honkai Impact 3, which is where this came from. And it's mainly made up of, read this, most of them who are either play MiHoYo games or play multiple games. That's right, boys. They mainly play MiHoYo games. Jian also likes to claim to be other groups of gamers, such as Arc of Tomorrow players, Tower of Fantasy players, Ming Chao players, and so on, because they continue to play up above games and have a grudge against them. They feel as long as they pretend to be above mentioned player groups, although they can't wash their rice, they can drag other groups into the water. That's right, boys. These people are trying to purify the player base of the games. They're trying to purify Wuthering Waves now. They don't like the way that it looks. They don't like Wuthering Waves getting a whole bunch of sales last month due to Cantarella. I don't know about you, but Cantarella actually speaked out to me, dude. I like the tacit mark on her tongue. Even my girlfriend liked the tacit mark on her tongue. We all thought it was great. You know who didn't think it was great? The Chinese player base and white liberal women over here in the West. How absolutely obsessive are these MiHoYo fans? You guys let me know down below what you think. Paper or plastic? Paper being good, plastic being bad. Paper being that shit you get from the grocery store when they say paper or plastic. You say, give me that fucking paper, baby. And plastic being that shit that gets stuck in the ocean. Plastic being that shit that MiHoYo fans are smoking. Let me know what you guys think down below. Paper or plastic? I'm going with plastic, baby. This is plastic as fuck. Yes, all gacha games should be 16 plus, but no, they should not be rated 16 plus, force rated 16 plus, and forced to censor a game because they were brigaded by Chinese players and white left liberal women. Okay, that is not okay. Yes, we can all agree that they should be 16 plus, but they should not be on an uneven playing field because they were brigaded. They were framed by Chinese players. Framed, I'm saying, framed. I didn't do it. I was framed, baby. All right, boys, that's it for me. GG's, you guys hit me up down below. Please like and subscribe, okay, so you can see more of this kind of content. All right, boys, GG's, peace.